I love you, Twitter. You got to get your act together, you guys. You're getting too big too fast. I just logged in. You got bumped right off. 3 o'clock, 3:06:37. Here it is. Great panel. Great day. Finally a Friday. Good week in the market. And we're over Ken Rosenthal's ridiculous appearance on Strategy Room yesterday. Don't worry. It'll never happen again. All right, let's do this real quick. I'm going to send it around the room before I introduce the great panel. Come on. Trace, what do you got going this weekend?
Do some side work, actually. Literally, I'm shooting some stuff.
Side
no
work.
women?
Side work.
No women?
Kevin Tracy side
Maybe
work.
the side work are the women.
Kevin Tracy side work. Come on. Where is he? Where is he? Can you zoom in on that? He's working hard. There he is. Good job, Jordan. Keep it up, man.
Okay.
Actually, you're doing great today. Better than usual. Come on. That's you, Maddie. Maddie, you do it. And there's Carrot. All right. I have to do this real quick. Bring it to this gentleman right here in the middle, John Rutledge. If you don't know John Rutledge, you should.
Hello.
He's one of the principal architects of the Reagan Economic Plan in 1980-81. I didn't know that. And has been an advisor to the Bush White House on tax policy. Dr. John Rutledge is the chairman of Rutledge Capital. The reason why I'm doing that, John's also a good friend. We spent a lot of time on TV together. Great guy, great insights, smart man. Next to Dr. John, Dr. Dani Babb, the Babb Group, DRDANIELLEBABB.com.
TheBabbGroup.com or Twitter, Dani Babb.
Or Twitter, both doctors.
With one N.
Yeah, with
right,
one N.
let's do that
and
right.
No
Let's
y.
make sure we have it the right way. So go ahead, Dr. Dani
Good
Babb.
catch. DANIBABB.
And okay, bring it over here to our favorite liberal market crasher, Obama
What is
lover.
the market doing today?
It's
up.
up
Obama lover.
165 right now.
Stick.
So here's your
No thanks to your friend.
147.
In spite of your
In spite of you.
Because of my friend. Because I announced what's
In
going on
spite
with
of.
what he's going to do for unemployment today.
Right.
Glad you did that.
Obama.
I'm thrilled you did that. By the way, we're going to have a phoner in a couple of minutes, so we only have about 7 minutes or less, about 6 minutes to talk about it. What's he going to do for unemployment today? What in the world is he going to do other than spend more
First of all,
our money?
No. What he's going to do is he's going to allow people who are on unemployment to continue to collect unemployment and do retraining. That is very actually new. Number two,
He's giving them 26 more weeks if they're going to apply for training jobs, job training.
Exactly. And he used the example in his speech today of a woman who was a medical assistant.
It's not going to work.
That's chump change.
Well, it is not chump change if you can learn computers, if you can learn retraining. I'm sorry, you think it's chump change. I know people who are.
Well, here, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
before we talk about if it's money, if it's not money, if it's relevant. I don't know. I think the Pell Grant went up $500 today as well. But what about
if
this?
It passes Congress.
Where is the incentive to go out and get a job now? Aren't you just saying, here, 26 more weeks, you can stay on unemployment benefits for another half a year?
You know what the incentive is? People hate not to be working, and unemployment is not enough money not to work.
Who hates not to work?
Everybody I know hates not to work.
My concern is that we're just making it easier and easier to not work. John,
you have a
Dani.
welfare state mind in your head.
This whole concept of unemployment is ridiculous. All we need to do is help stimulate small businesses, which will create far more jobs than the government saved, their whole 150,000 jobs that they saved with almost $2 trillion, and we will have a solved problem.
Well, I don't disagree with that. And actually, my one criticism of Obama-Rama is that he did not put in enough money for green jobs, and he did not, and enough.
Rutledge, take it.
And wait a minute, and not enough
take it, Rutledge.
on infrastructure in terms of fiber, etc.
Let the private sector do its thing.
No, the fiber
we do
sector.
not need the government.
You know why?
Look,
Because
I know that the
desires
telecom guys are spending money with lobbyists to get all the broadband they can get. God bless them. Everybody loves money. Green jobs are total horseshit. There's nothing
I
in
don't
that.
agree with that.
There's nothing in that for the
literally.
economy. You're pandering
What are you
to
talking
you're
about?
pandering to the environmental guys with
I
this.
totally disagree.
Oh, well,
you know what?
What you need is to find a way to let people who own little businesses get enough working capital to meet payroll. That is not happening
That
today.
will save the most jobs.
That'll open up the
And
economy.
then
No, but you know something. For instance, I have a friend that has a company that actually makes a kind of wallboard that allows there not to
In
be.
China, the one that smells like eggs.
No. This is made in the Netherlands, and they can't get enough capital to start a manufacturing plant in this country. So green jobs are not what you call full of S.
before
Green
you
jobs
do that,
means that you and your friends would like to determine which jobs people get, rather than their customers.
I want
their
us to
customers
develop-
know what businesses they want,
why
not the federal
is China
government.
developing a better car with a better battery, and we're not doing it?
hold on, before you answer that.
The battery, actually.
yeah,
I care
that's-
about the engine.
Before
I
you
think
answer that, you have one of the premier Asian experts around. He's been in Korea. He's been around the world. Ellen, before you do that, hold on. Ellen's on in the market screen. Does that mean it's going to turn red? Also, please take the photo of Obama down. I can't stand it anymore. That's from Jody. Wow, heavy hitters today on Strat Room. Danny, John, Ellen, and Eric. Have to get John to say, blue smoke coming from your butt, Ray in Arizona.
Okay, Ray. Ray, I think, may be a viewer of our Saturday show, where our entire purpose is to tell people to get off the couch, stop waiting for the government to solve their problems, start their own business, hire people themselves. It's entrepreneurs. We've got hundreds of stories of people who call in and have done it themselves.
Well, I run a small business, and it's small, let me tell you, but and we've had to come up with all kinds of ways of getting revenue because we're small news organizations. Small news organizations have a very, very tough time. But the fact is, you know what? If the government had done what China did in 1999, which is start to fiber the country, I would be making a fortune. Why? Because I'd be able to come into every one of my radio and TV outlets with fiber.
When was the last time you were in China checking that fiber?
I was not, but they do have fiber that they are starting to lay more than we are.
They're doing good things, they're doing bad things, but that's a headline story. What they're really trying to do is to figure out how to get small businesses working capital. They're working on the same problem that we are. They're trying to downplay manufacturing and upplay services.
And their government's also pouring money into big businesses that are not creating or saving any jobs.
There's a great question here, and this is from Deb. What's he going to do for those college grads that won't be able to find a job, Deb in Maine? Because remember, the issue is your unemployment benefits are based on prior earnings, right? If you haven't earned before.
We have about 3 million college students coming out of college or so. Maybe it's a little less, but that's about. And then you have about the same coming out of high school. And so I think the unemployment statistics have never taken that into account. And where are these people going to get jobs?
So pay them to not work for a while.
No. And they're not getting unemployment. There are no jobs for these kids.
School. Why is that necessarily a bad thing? There's sponsored tuition organizations out there like AJU.edu that John and I are both affiliated with, and they are sponsoring individuals' tuition now, today. So
Dave
Gibson, to a degree.
Dave Gibson, to your green jobs, Ellen says they reported the government was the largest hiring firm last month and for the last few months. Ellen, Spain reported it cost $200,000 to produce one green job at the cost of two other jobs. Green jobs are horse poop.
Well, they're not if we are manufacturing things that other countries will buy that are green. That is what I mean by
what
a green
is that?
job.
What did you have in mind?
Whether it's windmills or solar.
Other countries aren't going to buy our electricity. You can't even transport it from Kansas to Oklahoma.
Sure you can. You even have them on the back of boats. I mean, little windmills. Yes, you do.
Can someone give me Ellen's camera? Here it is. The answer to the economic crisis: with little windmills on the back of boats. I love you. That's why I love Ellen. Though. Okay, guys, you too. We have to go. Do we have a phoner?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to grab this phoner. Real interesting phoner.
I'm dying to talk to this guy. Not that I want to be his client's victim.
Can I be political today? Do you mind if we be a little bit?
I've got a big one politically, too. I've got a big one political. Okay, go.
And I'm doing this because you guys reside on the West Coast occasionally.
Sometimes.
I live in an airplane.
Couple days.
Yeah.
Legalizing marijuana, legalizing drugs, legalizing online gambling. You want to take this? Anyone want to jump on this? It's a tough one. It's controversial. You can Ellen, ball's yours.
Okay, well, look, I used to work in the field of addictions. I started various treatment centers, and I did outcome research in terms of addiction, so I know a lot about it. I spent 15 years in the field. And nobody is more opposed to drugs than I am. However, we have a country where it is not regulated, that cash crop of West Virginia and California is very high in terms of marijuana. And if you decriminalize, I'm not saying legalize, decriminalize, like Massachusetts has decriminalized marijuana, Every time somebody finds marijuana in a car and a this and a that, they have an opportunity for intervention on the person to get them treatment. And we could clean out the prisons. We could do more prevention and more intervention if we decriminalize drugs.
What happens to people that went to prison on the basis of being caught? Let them out?
Let them out. Absolutely.
Goodbye?
No, do a treatment program and let them out. Absolutely.
You have to go by whatever
The legal
rule was at
system
the time.
wouldn't let them out.
Yeah, you have to go by whatever
just
the
like
rule
they're
was at the
changing
time they were
crack cocaine
prosecuted. If
sentences,
murder
they
becomes
can.
legal tomorrow, then everybody in jail doesn't just get randomly let out.
Sure they do.
No, they don't. They should not.
Well, I think they should.
Should we legalize it?
It's a great way
Cal-
to increase revenue,
Governor,
taxes. I'm totally fine. Look, I'm a conservative Republican, no problem. I have no issue with this whatsoever. Make it legal, tax the shit out of it, and make some money.
But aren't you worried about kids? Aren't you worried about your kids going, wow, it's legal. I'm going to try it now.
You don't have to make it legal for kids under the age of 18 or
How much
21.
are you going to make? John, how much money can you raise taxing pot?
They'll show you a
Two?
big. They'll show you a big number, but I don't think the number is really material in a government that's spending $3.5 trillion a year. So it's not a revenue source. It's a question of whether you think it's a right or wrong issue. People ought to do it or not do it. There's a lot of money spent in enforcement. That doesn't make any sense to me, spending a load of dough on enforcement. But in this area, what I don't like is the idea that when you find something you don't want people to do, you turn it into a government monopoly. So, we have gambling in this country all over the place. It's all state-run lotteries. And they, basically they cherry pick off the best businesses for the government to do. That is a cash generator, by the way. And why?
Well, it did stop a lot of the numbers running.
Why can't Bob do it? The only reason numbers running was an interesting thing to do is because it was illegal, like your pot store.
Legalizing pot won't make any money in taxes because people just grow it in the backyard.
That's true. Hydroponics makes
Prices will go down.
Prices going down is a good thing in this market.
Well, it certainly
We're
would
gonna buy the
eliminate.
damn
It would
thing.
also. It would eliminate theft in this country and petty theft. Oh, I'm so excited about this phone call. I can't see straight.
Who is this? Hello, I'm watching you live on my PC. I have a question. 26 more weeks. If in a training program, where will the money come from to enroll in a class?
It's going to come from Pell Grants.
Pell Grants. Pell Grants are good.
State
I heard
grants, training grants.
Up $500. He's proposing a maximum of $5,350.
That is one course at a community college or two courses.
What's that?
That's a big whoop.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're good to go?
It should be a lot more.
More, when these guys
No,
this
you
year,
just ditched
federal
the program.
spending is going up by 50% as a share of GDP this year. $3.5 trillion. There is no way in hell ever to collect that money out of
all right,
tax revenue.
let me do this, Johnny. I hate to jump on you real quick. We're lucky to get a guest. Glenn Selig, is that right, sir?
That's correct.
Can you hear us okay?
I can.
All right, Glenn. So here's the if you don't know Glenn Selig, Drew Peterson's all over the news, sir. We have the news channel running in the background half the show, and it's Drew Peterson's recent arrest. Why don't you give us a couple of minutes on just update us on what's the latest with the Drew Peterson case?
Well, the latest is he had an appearance in court. They have delayed the arraignment until Monday. So the arraignment will actually happen on Monday.
Okay. Quirky question. Got to do. By the way, giving a shout out to Jordan. I guess Jordan Chariton used to watch your dogs. Is that what he said?
Yeah. Hey, yes, I used to work in TV. Jordan, tagged along when I was a news reporter on a couple of stories. Great guy.
All right, great guy. Don't disagree with you there. All right, here's a question though, sir. Why does Drew Peterson? I understand why he needs lawyers, but why does he need a PR guy?
He needs a PR guy because he's been attacked. He's been attacked as far as his image is concerned in the public domain, and he has brought us on to help deal with that. When you've got people saying all these terrible things about you, you've got to do something to fight back or help people understand why you say the things that you say, why you do the things that you do.
Why though, Glenn? What?
Self-inflicted wounds.
He's going to court. He's going to be, judged by a group of his peers. Why is this a PR spin to stock the pond before the jury's picked?
No, not at all. I think that this is a chance. I mean, all things being equal, he should go in with an even playing field. He shouldn't go in with everybody thinking that he's guilty, and certainly people should go in with an open mind. According to the law of the land, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Well, Glenn,
it's nice if he actually went in that way.
Glenn, are you accusing the news media of being unfair in that respect? In other words, do they need a PR person because you think the reporters on the Peterson case are not giving him a fair shake?
But I'm not going to blame it entirely on the media. I don't think that the media helps. I think Drew himself has taken responsibility for some of his quirky behavior that has led people to conclude things that simply are not true. But the media has not helped. I think the media jumps to conclusions. They are very quick to convict, and I don't think they are giving him a fair shake.
Well, look, I don't know whether he's guilty or not, but the circumstances don't have him in such great shape. And the thing I would say, because I'm completely against the death penalty, is that it'd be very interesting to have a neuropsychiatrist look at his brain chemistry and brain anatomy and figure out what really has been going on there. Because
that'll happen in a court,
No,
Ellen.
well,
Of course, you don't think he's going to bring that up in court.
Whether he's even capable of
Let's focus.
trial.
Let's focus on
Right.
Drew Peterson's spokesperson here. I want to know again. What are you Why are you on Fox News? Why are you in Strategy Room? Why are you out there? What do you hope to do with the public's opinion of Drew Peterson? Are you going to change it now?
I'm not trying to change anything. I'm trying to help people understand why people do the things that they do. In this particular case, Drew Peterson is a man who spent his entire career in law enforcement. You react to certain things in certain ways when you're in law enforcement. Similar to in a newsroom, when there's a big story or a bad story, you think the great story. You use terms like that. For people in the outside world, they think you're from outer space. But people in the newsroom understand that that's the lingo that's used. If you're in law enforcement and you see horrible things day after day, you use certain coping mechanisms to deal with some terrible situations. In his case, he uses humor to deal with it. From the outside world, does it seem inappropriate? Absolutely. Does it seem quirky? Absolutely. But quirky does not mean guilty.
But okay, so take us through this. A couple of our emailers want to know the exact. What was he arrested for exactly?
Oh gosh, I don't want to get into I believe he's been accused in the death of Kathleen Savio, for the murder of Kathleen Savio.
Okay, his third wife. Is that right?
Correct. It's his third wife.
Out of 4.
Correct.
And fourth is missing.
And the fourth wife is missing.
Fourth wife is missing.
Just
Okay.
an unlucky guy.
Yeah, well, and 1 and 2 are.
One actually, has very nice things and wonderful things to say about him. And wow, isn't it amazing? You never hear from her.
And 2.
And 2 didn't have such nice things to say about him, but she's still around.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are still alive. 3 has passed, and 4 is missing.
Correct.
And now you're going to tell us that there are issues that we need to know about Drew Peterson that the media won't tell us. Exactly what was that again?
Well, look, there are sometimes, I grant you that it would seem to me that he would be very unlucky for all these things to happen. But you know what? There aren't too many families that have, one brother who's murdered, one who dies in a plane crash, one who's assassinated, and we're talking about the Kennedys. And you would think, wow, how could that happen to one family? But terrible things happen. A lot of terrible things happen to one family. So we don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here. All I know is that you are supposed to be presumed innocent, and neither does anybody else. So that's the way he should be perceived.
Kevin Tracy just handed me that he's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. 2 counts of first-degree murder. Okay, so
how do you get 2 counts out of one person?
Out of one human.
That's what I saw as a Chiron on the channel.
can you address it, or is that his lawyer's job to address that?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the legal.
Honestly, listen, I appreciate you coming on, Glenn, and I understand, but I still don't understand exactly what you're trying to tell me. I'm a guy walking down the street, and I see Glenn Selig on the Fox News channel, or I hear him, on my computer because I have it open, and I'm working right now and watching Strategy Room. What are you telling me about Drew Peterson? What are you trying to? What's the point you're trying to make to me? He's a good guy. I'm missing it.
I'm not trying to make anything out of anything. I'm just trying to say, if you look at the information out there and you're looking at him and you're saying this guy's guilty, I'm asking you to keep an open mind. You don't know what this guy is and what he's about. You only know what you have been told, and that's only a very limited amount.
Mr. Selig, what is he doing, Mr. Peterson doing in jail? I guess he's not in prison. He's in jail right now. Does he write about it? I mean, how does he communicate with you and his attorney and the rest of the world right now?
He's only been there for a very short period of time. I mean, he's had one phone call to his attorney. He's doing all right. I mean, I don't know what else he's doing beyond that at this point. We're
going to lose you. I would love to have more time with you. Big question, who's paying you?
Well, that's something that's between him and me, and I'm very happy to be a part of the team.
Well, Is he paying you, in fact?
I think I just answered the question.
Well, if you're doing it for free, as a viewer, I might say, well, maybe you're just doing it because you want to latch on to the Drew Peterson case.
Look, I'm not getting rich over this particular case.
Okay. All right, Glenn Selig. Is it Selig or Selig?
Selig.
Glenn Selig, we appreciate it very much. How can I? What's the proper way to say goodbye to you? You're the PR. You're the what?
You could say publicist, spokesperson. Either is fine.
Publicist Glenn Selig for Drew Peterson. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Can I say something? Well, how is it that Mr. Peterson is just recently in jail? I thought he was in jail for the missing wife.
No, he's never been charged. He's never been charged yet. Again, I didn't. Jordan said he's a friend. But the point being, if Peterson's not paying him, did he pick up the phone and go, "Hey, listen, I'll take care of some PR for you"? Yeah, fine.
This story is a bank account waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You're talking
Books,
about $5 million
movies,
book deals.
yeah.
You're talking about movie rights and all that. I would sign on to this too, if I were just interested in making money.
It felt like he wasn't being paid. It felt like he was. I'm along for the ride. No.
Oh, the deal was.
Yeah, no, he's not getting paid, or he's getting paid, $100 or something, so we can say he's being paid by his client. What was Peterson doing out of jail? I mean, I thought he was. I guess I missed the case. I thought. They couldn't find.
He was dating and looking for a new wife because
the next one.
He has a vacancy at the moment.
Right, and I believe her father freaked out and talked to the media about it. Actually,
I wouldn't date this guy if you paid me $1 trillion, quadrillion, the entire U.S. budget.
The male version of the Black
that's
Widow.
a lot of money.
People are fairly outraged about that. I hate to do it. The 328. Let's bring it back to the economy. We had some big numbers today. Big numbers.
Very big numbers.
Good things are happening. Barack Obama saved the economy.
No, Barack Obama is doing his very best to try and get people retrained, to deal with this high unemployment, and to begin to put money into and to push the banks to lend money. It didn't help. Fannie Mae also came up with $28 million and say they need. Wait a minute.
They asked for $19 billion.
Right, 19.
Today.
Right.
And Fannie and Freddie is a load of crap because they're only lending to a very small segment of the population.
Here we go.
They're actually creating an issue, a divide in the country between those who can afford homes over $240,000 and those who cannot.
Rutledge, though, 650,000. The number last month. On jobs lost, 563,000 this month. It's better by 100,000.
Absolutely.
90,000.
Well, we talk about this all the time at Happy Room. I'm 130% invested today. I'm invested.
Back up. Happy Room?
Happy,
Happy hour.
The happy place.
The hour of happiness?
Yeah,
oh, I got
that's
you.
Right.
I think you found
the
better name.
That's right.
There are several of those.
I'm heavily invested right now. I'm invested in bank stocks. I'm invested in Asian stocks.
It's good for you. You're
For
doing
reasons that have nothing to do with this smiling face, that have everything to do with the fact that the Federal Reserve has flooded the world with reserves or money since September. They've increased bank reserves 800%. It's never happened in the history of mankind before. It's pushing its way through the banks. So that story is coming our way. The job story will eventually come our way. The normal state of the world is people working, not people not working.
Almost 9% unemployment?
Okay, wait a minute. Actually, it would be 15% if we included those who stopped looking for jobs
Right,
and those
of
who are
course.
now taking
Yes,
half-time work. But that has been the case, period, not just during this particular area. And also, we have to remember that companies are saving jobs by reining in hours. The average worker was working 41 hours, is now working 33.2 hours.
So things are getting better.
No.
Worse?
Yes.
Worse.
No, absolutely not. They're getting better. They will continue to get better
I
despite
am
the economy,
130%
despite the president.
long in the market, which means, yes, they're getting better in the capital markets.
Right.
The capital markets have unfrozen. If you want to see a canary in the coal mine to look at Blackstone. They are the day after Blackstone's IPO was the day the credit crisis started in 2007. They're the one coming out. Why? Because leveraged loans are starting to happen again. And it's because these government programs have made it possible for banks to sell pieces of paper to hedge funds at enormous prices and enormous returns. That part of the pipeline is open. But the part that's shutting off is small business lines of credit and home loan. So that's not going well.
Well,
That's where the jobs
But the
come
other
from.
problem is with this kind of unemployment rate and people owing tons and tons on credit cards, and we have not. That is the other shoe that I think is going to drop.
The next shoe to drop is the jumbo
that?
market.
Can we take that, Trace, or no? That's old? That's from earlier? That's Drew Peterson going to jail. 2 counts, first-degree murder. Kevin Tracy, there you go.
The second count.
But here's the question. Things feel to me better. They just feel better than they did in October and then again in
Doing
March.
that. Starting to do
It's
that.
starting to do that.
We put out for one job. I cannot tell you the difference in resumes
you're
that
a
we
liberal.
get.
You should be saying, yes, it's because my candidate, my
No,
man is
I'm
in
telling
office.
you, my man is trying to do the best job he can. But it is very difficult, and he is going to be riding some even rougher waters, I believe.
Your man is raising the tax rate on small business owners that are responsible for more than 100% of all job increases since 1981.
And they're freaking out, and they're going to get double taxed under the W-2 and small business tax.
Well, I have to tell you something. If
Absolutely.
my business started to make the kind of money, I'd be happy to pay the
Wait,
taxes.
$250,000 is a lot of money. You know that businesses reinvest this to create jobs, and that is getting taxed under
Small
your man's
businesses are
policy.
generally S corps or proprietorships.
Yes. Yep. Mine is an S corp.
They do not produce financial statements. They do not have capital spending to show the government. They just have their money in their checking account.
Right.
And they're responsible for all of the job creation that happens in America. You'll get jobs again when those people can get money to hire
And
people.
I will also tell you, where is broadband in
Everything
this
I'm
country?
understanding, everything I'm hearing is banks are now willing to lend, but there's no one that wants to borrow. Businesses are saying
Banks
small.
have shut off entirely.
But
Banks are not
They're
willing
not
to
being
lend.
is that true? Because I'm reading a lot lately. All of a sudden, banks willing to lend. They have it. It's available. But
Not
there's
from
no,
anybody who's actually been able to borrow money. You're not reading that.
They're looking at several
I-
factors that they haven't looked at before. So if you're a small business out there, you have an S corp, you're going to go look to try to get money. They're going to actually start to look at your personal income or your personal income tax and your personal credit report as well. And if you have a NAGAM loan like I do on your primary mortgage because you're going to use it as a leveraging tool, your line of credit's going to get shut off by that bank.
You're talking the lower end of the small business spectrum. Am I correct?
That's all.
Well,
That's where the jobs are.
Small to medium businesses, and that's 85%.
Less than 500
We agree
people.
with that.
Less than
jobs.
500 people.
Okay. All right. That's interesting because I was under the impression that just above that is the meat and potatoes of the small business and the jobs and the demand.
The logic that matters is small businesses can only get money from banks or from private equity. Large businesses never borrow money from banks. Banks are irrelevant for a public company. That's where you go to do other things, but not to get your loan money. The bond market's opening up, but what has happened, I chair a business in Switzerland that invests a big hunk of money around the world. We are going to put $1 billion into the securities the banks are selling because of the new programs. We will make 30% returns on that money, and it'll be guaranteed by the federal government at the same time. The banks who are providing that are so busy doing that, they have selectively turned off lending to small businesses. They're shutting down credit lines, one person at a time, who are small business. Those are people who call us on the weekend.
A week.
Why?
It's
though?
incredible.
Why would they do that? They
They're
can
being
borrow
You
at
would do it
nothing.
too.
By borrowing at nothing, loan it out at
No,
6%.
you would do it too. It's the only thing that makes sense for you to use your time on is something you can shovel into a barrel and sell to the federal
And
government
plus,
guaranteed program.
If you take your resources from the lending department to the modification department, every loan you modify, you're going to get an extra grand right off the top. from the
Wait,
federal
let's
government.
put this. So what you're saying is, look, the government is making it possible because of the way they're dealing with paper and money around the world for you guys to make money.
No.
But it's still for you to make money. But it is still not possible for small businesses to make money. Because he's making money.
No,
'cause
they've
he's figured
actually
out the
made
way.
it worse for the small businesses.
No, I know. That's what
right.
I'm saying.
Yes,
Do me a
I'm saying
favor.
you have been able to. You understand the overall game because of your.
Well, I know
Switzerland
the
or
game
whatever.
about you and me, but look, they made it possible for hedge fund guys around the
That's
world
right,
to make a
money.
killing.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Absolutely.
That's
Let me do
exactly
this.
what I'm saying, but they
I
haven't
hate
done
that
it
this
for
is a
small
great
businesses.
discussion. Well, we have to have you guys on. We have to make this a regular thing. Get it? See what I'm doing here? Read a couple of them real quick. Ellen, no doubt Obama is trying to fix things, but he doesn't know what he's doing by creating the road he's on now. I'm not sure. Okay, Ron Pierce, my daily dose of liberal BS from South Dakota. Pierce says, Eric, economy's turning around. Maybe Obama helped, but take it to the bank. Obama has 2 terms. P.S. Stop spewing Rutledge Babb. Oh, my buds. Are you talking about Pierce?
We hope it's
Nice
only
try.
one term.
Yeah, thank God.
I want to bring in someone. Good friend. Good friend. I'm thrilled you came, Jeff Hazlitt, CMO of Kodak, and it says you're going to co-star this Sunday live Celebrity Apprentice 3-hour finale. Kodak is the final task for Joan Rivers and Annie Duke. Good seeing you, friend. We were there. I guess I was there with you last year with Celebrity Apprentice.
Absolutely, last year.
A couple of episodes.
We were on and the finale too.
And
as
the
well.
finale was
and
there.
the debate with Gene Simmons live, where he told me I
So
was
what
an
are they
idiot.
doing with Kodak?
With Kodak, they're going to take the Kodak moment of a lifetime. They're going to bring a red carpet experience right for the average Joe. And so they take our products and incorporate them, and I'm telling you, the show is absolutely unbelievable. I saw the tape version of it just a few days ago. And it's a cat fight like you'd see at a high school prom. The only thing it's missing is Sissy Spacek and a bucket of pig's blood. I'm telling you,
I'm a
it is
huge
absolutely wild.
For those of us
fan
that
of
don't
this
get
show.
to watch Celebrity whatever Apprentice, tell us what they do. I just don't understand it.
Alan, you're probably the only person on the planet that
No,
doesn't
I'm
know
not
what
the
this
only
is.
person.
Because
You don't.
the ratings are going through the
No,
roof.
I know what Apprentice was.
Well, they
I'm
take
not
a
that
simple
stupid.
task. They take a simple task, and then they run with it. And so then they're judged on certain criteria, just like they'll be done there. Between Annie and Joan, they're going to be judged on about 5 different criteria that night, and the best person wins. And
Where are
so-
you sitting?
Where am I going to be sitting for the show?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I haven't heard.
I requested to sit next to Aaron Burnett, but
Is that-
they said no. And then I requested Jeff Zucker.
So you're
and I don't
going to
think
this?
that's I'm going to go.
I know, and I was talking to Jill Zarin from Real Housewives of New York, and she's trying to get set next to
Jill
Jeff,
Zarin's
too.
coming on. I think she's coming on next.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, I've talked to her on the
I
phone.
think
She's
they should
also
seat us all together.
She's a Kodak spokesperson. We're everywhere, man.
But so tell me what are they going to be doing with your Kodak moments?
So they take our Kodak wireless digital picture frame.
Oh, I love them.
All right,
Okay.
which is absolutely wonderful.
Very
it's the
cool.
#1 bestseller. And
Yep.
what they do is they go out and grab citizens from the show or from the street,
Right.
and they plan a party, bring them to the party. They mingle with all the celebrities, take their pictures, put them on the picture frame, and they get an experience. Because a couple of us get to go to a lot of these kinds of activities in terms of red carpet and those things. Not the average citizen. So it's a great way for them to have Kodak moments.
Jeff, when Trace runs back there, you see,
Yep.
I'm going to get him to look at him run across. He's back to the TriCast.
He's fast,
Right?
he's
almost
fast.
there.
I need to get you to
we're gonna
work
run
with
this
some
clip.
of our talk
We have a
run a
clip
clip.
from the
Yeah.
show.
Hey! All right. Is this the winning team?
We hope so.
Is this the one? How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Clint, how you doing? Jeff Hazlett from Kodak.
When it was time for our meeting with Jeff from Kodak, I couldn't wait to sit down and find out what that company's philosophy was about.
Celebrations and events. I mean, that's a big part of what you do with pictures, right? And you have a unique ability. Your celebrities, Joan, you're at the red carpet events all the time. Normal people don't always get to do those kind of things. So we want you to be able to make sure that these folks get to do the same thing. Walk that red carpet, be treated like a star, be a part of it.
We felt pretty good after we met Jeff. He very much stressed that a chance for these people to have an actual Kodak moment, real people, and get to be treated like a VIP.
And you're holding our brand in your hands, so be careful with it, okay?
We're going to ask ourselves what Gene Simmons would do, and then do the opposite.
And this is about setting your pictures free. You can customize and personalize the content. You can do this where, Dennis, if you've got one girlfriend coming one weekend, you can have all her pictures show.
Like that, right?
Exactly right. The next week, you got another girlfriend coming, you put different pictures on, so then you personalize it. So that's a pretty good thing.
Does this do video?
It does video as well, so you can put a video clip on there as well.
It's a television, basically.
It's very much like that. It's certainly a Kodak display screen to be able to show
load
all this
videos
on.
and do it and stuff.
Absolutely. So stay informed. The other thing, it's a 10-inch screen, which is absolutely beautiful. Well, a lot of people want it. That's
have
what's
one?
really cool.
Can we get a free one?
Guys, if you could just let him finish his speech, please. It's important. We have limited time with Jeff. Jeff was, trying to get the brand message out to us, and Tom kept interrupting him.
The boxes, we can make boxes,
Well,
like special boxes.
if you want to grab a marker and a crayon, do whatever you like.
The
to
graphic
do.
designer
Yeah.
can't affect the box, right? But just to throw Trump on there or Celebrity Apprentice or whatever.
Tom. Excuse me, I'm so sorry about
It's all right.
And he's very direct. I don't know that style of being that acerbic with people would actually work in the real world necessarily. I think everybody would quit.
All right, for the record, you guys, just give me this 1 second. I'm sitting in here, and Ellen is inviting our third base guest here during the segment, during the clip. We're trying to pay attention. She's like, come meet some of my friends.
No. It's the Talkers Convention.
Let me talk to you.
We're multitasking, so it's great.
Hannity is the master of ceremonies. It's a big deal.
I will let you work a deal over there. Just give me
small business.
Give me 18 minutes and 20 seconds.
All right.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Your product, the big product. Well, let me just take it. The ZI6. I actually did a whole segment on Happy Hour with the ZI6. I took it out on the street of Manhattan and interviewed people. I'm telling you, we used it. It was fantastic.
I'm looking for something better than the flip camera because I don't like the quality of the video. And you only get 45 minutes.
There's no comparison.
This is it. This makes.
And that was the ZI6. That was the earlier version.
Yeah, this makes the flip the flop. I mean, that's what it does. This is the ZX1. It's out. It's HD, HD60, VGA still. Has a remote control, so you can hook it right up to your TV, watch HD. We're seeing a lot of the reporters out in the field that are using this. A lot of citizen journalists. Every YouTuber. Plug this right in, goes right up to your YouTube. It's a really wonderful.
Does it work well on the Mac? Right. Because I'll tell
Absolutely.
you, we have had so much trouble with that evil other thing on the Mac.
We work with everything. PC, Mac, whatever. We work.
Flip works fine on a Mac.
I
sneaked an HD flip into North Korea 3 weeks ago. Took all sorts of footage, uploaded on the Mac. I'm happy for yours to be better.
I tell you what, I'm gonna give you one, and I want you to sneak it in somewhere else too. So we'll do that.
I will do that. I'm going
Jeff,
I want one. Wait a minute.
Right. Jeff, talk to us about the product line. Is it Kodak?
It's a big change.
Go ahead.
Big change. A number of years ago, everything was film, and film's still part of our core technology. But the company is one of the biggest turnarounds in American business history.
Great job.
You got 19 products that are all number 1, number 2, number 3. 60% of the people are new over the last 4 years. 11 of our products drive 2/3 of the total revenue, and half of those didn't exist 2 years ago. It's a complete turnaround of the company, and it's coming out with innovative things like this and other products. And so, my pockets are full with about every kind of camera and gadget you could possibly think of. This is a touch screen, absolutely. Absolutely.
Had it way before
well, maybe some of these companies got them from Kodak. We just took a little later to get it out.
Touch screens are not that good for old bats like us.
That's worked for everybody.
Do me a favor. Let's take it back to Celebrity Apprentice. What has that show done for Kodak? Because prior to that, it was like, that brand, the older, and as soon as you hit Celebrity Apprentice, the Apprentice group, boy, did a fantastic job.
Took off. Last year we did it, and it was very aggressive. It's an aggressive move for us. It's changing the little bit of face, so it's not your father's Kodak anymore. And that's really what we're doing. That's what we're doing. It's really edgy.
The brownie I had?
Yeah. Well, last year we doubled sales. We doubled sales by being on the Celebrity Apprentice with our value proposition on the printer. And we think we're going to see some similar things. I mean, you can't with that kind of cat fighting that's going on there. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be
get you into the Chinese game shows. The number 1 show in China is called Win in China. It's 140,000 kids competing with business plans for venture capital. That's today's.
Can I do this?
You also see that.
Sadhu Kim, Sadhu?
Yeah, I know Sadhu well.
Great friend of mine. I told him you were going to be on, so I think he's watching.
Hey, Sadhu.
I think it's out there. I've read it in the post. I'm going to do this. Shark Tank. Similar thing. You're going to have 4 or 5 sharks. Guys like you, Rutledge. Guys who made money in business, and then people are going to come in and they're going to come and pitch their story, pitch their thing, and they're going to try and outbid each other.
Sure.
I think was it Lions Den in your?
It was very similar to Lions Den. Mark Burnett's put this together as well. And I think it's got a better format. I know a lot of the properties that they have. And I've seen a lot of the treatment work on this already, and it's going to be a real winner.
You're going to be involved in that one?
Not me personally. I get on a couple of his different shows that he's had out there, and a few others for that matter, as a CMO for a big company. But I have seen a lot of what they're going to do, and it looks very hot. Yeah, it's a cool concept. Too. Cool concept.
It's
Mother's Day. Mother's Day's coming up.
You're a very bright guy. I do this to all the people who are in the business on here. If I wanted to monetize the strategy room. Breaking news, emails, a lot of people at work watching. I got news back there, the news channel back there. A lot of opportunities. It could be product placement. It could be Poland Spring Water. It's not. It could be, up in these things here. It could be along the bottom. It could be a banner. Whoever. XYZ, Kodak.
Yeah.
What's the best way to do
Well,
it?
I'm surprised that you're not doing that because usually every one of these shows I go on, they peel all these off, and nobody gets this kind of activity.
Because
So-
we're not doing it yet.
Yeah,
Jeff.
you should.
That's
right,
why. Because if we were doing it,
turn it around. That's exactly
if we
right.
were doing it, we'd have to.
Here, instead, we'll put the books up there.
Obo and Pat would
You ought to be doing. You ought to be
Pat
doing that, and you ought to
contact
be putting it up online where you've got it online. I know you do a lot of that activity. I've been watching you and I Twitter each other. We follow each other. We've got a lot of those things. But doing a lot of that online, and then making sure that these folks can go online to be able to get this book or that book or any of the others that are out here. As you have those guests, you should be able
That's
to
true.
do it.
We push books here all the time, and yet if we even did an Amazon account through our strategy room, we get a piece of that action.
Well, be an
We
affiliate
gotta
partner,
get strategy room on
of
iTunes.
Amazon. If you're an affiliate partner of
Right.
Amazon, you make money every time somebody clicks.
Right.
Yeah. Well, 1 to 3%, it starts adding up. That's it.
Yeah,
With the millions
Or
of people
can
that
buy
you
them
have,
from
I mean,
thebathroom.com and I'll make
easy to do.
3 hours Sunday night starts at 8 to 11 on NBC, and I'm gonna try and sit next to you. The camera's gonna be on you the whole time.
Maybe there are going to be so many Kodak moments in that show. It's just going to make your head
All
spin.
right,
Where's it
Tina
filmed?
Fey,
Where's it-
Fallon's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Tina Fey, why didn't you guys invite me?
Listen.
I'm stuck at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You're doing fun stuff.
You just told me you're going to the White House. You invited Straka.
I did.
What else is? What's on
didn't know
the
you'd
What's on the
wanna
radar
come.
for Kodak?
Hey, we're just trying to get ready. Everybody's trying to get back in the game. It's been a tough couple months for almost every company out there, and we were doing great, and most companies were till this big thing hit everybody, and everybody's sticking to business. But we see a lot of good things. Our inkjet printer, we're up 100% on sales over last year. And so there's some real bright spots that are out there, and that's what's really good. So
Let me ask you.
yeah, we're always hiring. Yeah, but at the same time, we've done like everybody else. We've done some right sizing as part of the activity. You have to, especially if you're changing your company.
The
around.
technology for printing photos, it's kind of been kind of crummy unless you go to the stores that have the whatever. Are they getting better
Our
at home?
kiosks, the 100,000 of those that are over.
Right,
Yeah,
but-
absolutely. In fact, our new inkjet printer does the pigment inks, and so nobody else has pigment inks, which it's permanent, lasts a lifetime.
Well,
That's new
what
technology.
kind of printer?
It's a Kodak all-in-one inkjet printer. In fact, the real value statement around our printer is that today if you go to most stores and you buy a competitor's, you get the printer off the shelf, but you have to get the inkjet cartridges behind the lock counter.
Yeah, you want to kill yourself.
Something wrong with that. Our inks $9.99 and $14.99.
Yeah,
That's the way
why
we
are
do
they?
it.
That's the other question. Why do these other companies? You're going to give your arm and your leg.
Because they can.
It's like $80 before I get my 4 or 5 colors.
You're
I'm ready
speaking
to
to
kill
our value
myself.
proposition. Now, we call it notorious decadence. That's really what it is.
That's a great idea.
And you know how much it would cost? The height of the gas wars.
And then the black
that
ones
was
go out all the
$4
time, and then
a
the
gallon.
printer stops
$4 a gallon.
Yeah,
you know what
this
it would
is-
cost you to fill up a tank, a 20-gallon tank, with some of the big ink companies? $482,000.
I was going to say 60,000 because I think I did that.
Yeah.
I think I did. Per ounce is the most expensive
It's more
material on the
expensive.
planet.
It's more expensive than gold.
more expensive than
more
gold.
Why do they
expensive
do
than
this to
gold.
us?
Because
they
you
can.
allow
They
it.
can.
You
Thank
can.
you, John.
You
Yeah,
can.
thank
You
you, John.
can.
When
So we're
computers
stopping
were
that.
first sold, they sold you the cards that way.
Exactly.
You couldn't run the computer without the punch cards. That was IBM's money making.
Well,
And then
it's-
they got busted open. So
Give
you're
you the
doing-
razor and
you're doing a
get the razor
service.
blade.
You're
We're
doing a
doing it. We're
service.
protecting the consumer, and that's always
Yeah.
been at the core of our brands, that trust. And I tell you, we can't keep on the shelf.
Jeff, do me a favor. A good friend of mine, Lynn Tilton. You familiar with her? She's
No.
trying to buy, or she's in the process of buying, and there's a whole bidding process going on for Polaroid.
Ah, yeah.
Is this a brand that is
Not
Polaroid still competitive in the market?
We don't
Being
see
from
them.
Massachusetts, I'm
know
very
they're
sad.
they're building. I know they're trying to build up a brand and wish them the best of luck. But sometimes things just pass you by.
But
So-
their product, the one that she wants to really expose, is a
You bet.
Polaroid handheld where you take the picture and you actually physically get,
great nostalgic kind of activity.
but
It's
do
a
you-
great
but
kind of ad specialty kind of quality.
How small are your little printers? I'll tell you why. Because we brought them to Africa.
finish
Yeah,
the
okay. I'm like,
I'll let you go ahead. Go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm selling
Ellen
this
wants-
product.
No, we do 4x6s, 8x10s, 8.5 by
Danny, them
11s.
work on batteries so I can take them to
No,
Sudan.
nothing on batteries. But
I gotta
but
take
if
them
you
to
give me
Sudan.
enough enough research money, I'll come up with one for you.
And one of the
That'd
things,
be good.
the distinguishing factors of the ZI6, at least at the time, versus the Flip was you In the ZI, you hit a
just hit the
battery
button and
charger, right?
Yeah, we had a battery charger, but also you just punch it and you go up line, and that was a real kind of a good feature. You know, and our new one's actually going to have a mic jack on it.
There is a guy.
I knew that. We listened to you, Eric. I mean, I was on the show with you at Happy Hour. You and Cody and Kim were giving me a hard time about that it didn't have a mic jack. And I went back to the guys. I said, "You got to give me a mic jack."
And if you could make it streaming, that would be all the better. I did a live show out of Hainan a couple weeks ago, but I had to do it in a hotel room because I couldn't stream off of a machine. Yeah. So
lots of good stuff coming up, but that's a big thing. Everybody's just trying to really get back into the groove. Let's get the business going again. It's time for us to start smiling again. You know, and that's a lot of what we've done. This one's out. You can get this right now on our website today. It comes in about, I think, 5 different colors. The product team's going to kill me.
What's the
It's
price?
a ZX1, $149.99.
Wow.
$149.99. And the hot color is pink. The hot color is pink, actually. So I should have brought the pink one.
Not for me.
Actually, hey, 3 to 1.
No,
3 to 1.
There's a lot of gay guys in the world.
Hey,
That's
no,
okay.
you know what?
You know, you've got to serve that part.
Hey, real men wear pink too, and that's okay too. So it's
Kev,
all right.
Trace, is he back there? Trace, can I get your shot?
I think real men wear pink.
Where is it? What color are you going to get?
I would get blue.
Come on,
Blue?
man. You know you want
Going
the
straight
pink.
for blue. Most men go for black. Most men go black.
What colors
what they do.
what colors they come in?
Blue, yellow, pink. I don't know. A lot of them.
Jeff,
Red. Usually red. Yeah,
a lot of
always have red.
questions coming in, Sarah. And I love this question. This is great, Ray. Good job. Do you or does Kodak have editing rights to protect the brand? In other words, if something goes on Apprentice, can you guys say, "Whoa, we don't want to see that"?
No, I mean, would I kind of complain and yell and scream? Absolutely, but no. These guys actually, we're putting it in our hands. We let it go. Now, we do our best to set it up. I mean, I go in and spend time with the celebrities. I educate them. I said, I got 30 minutes with each team. And they ask me questions, and I tell them, look, and then you'll actually see a line in there where I say, you've got our brand in your hands. And a lot of people think these things are scripted, and they're not.
No.
You can't script that. Someone said these guys really don't like each other.
You
No,
can't
they
tell
hate each
Rodman
other.
to go grab another couple of vodka, whatever.
No, cranberry and vodka. Cranberry and vodka.
2 more for the road on his way to dinner.
Nah, you don't do that. And so, no, we put it out there. Now, do we work with them as much as possible? I mean, we educate the dickens out of the staff, but we do our homework. I mean, we set up mock boardrooms. We practice what our pitch is going to be to the celebrity because we only have a short period of time to get that value proposition.
Murder boards.
Yeah, we want to be careful. We want to be very succinct.
So the final task is a Kodak moment.
Kodak moment. They go in and create a Kodak moment of a lifetime. They use our products as part of it. They have a charity auction, which is a big thing for that. And the big thing here, what's really cool about this, even with the Joan and Ann fight, is they raise money for charity. And that's the cool part of it. That's the cool part, and that really makes it special.
For their nose jobs.
Well, or whatever else they've got. That's whatever they do with the money on their own thing. So.
How's the stock doing? Do we know?
The stock, I don't know what it is today, but we've been hanging in there like everybody else has. Everybody. I mean, so at one point I think our market cap was the same as GM. So it's like you never can
probably
tell.
doing better than them now.
Well, right now we are, but that's I mean, who would have known that we would be in this kind of situation for that period of time? And will we come out of it? Absolutely. Will everybody come out of it? Absolutely. And we'll be stronger for it. We don't like to say that, but we'll be stronger for it. And we'll be better companies and more competitive.
I got to tell you, after we did that segment, a lot of camera people and sound people were like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I mean, literally, I walked on the street, taped it, they edited it and put it up on the show, and it was a show segment.
Well, I remember even Kim went out and you guys did some things, put it up on the show. I mean, it's absolutely you're watching footage off of this.
That's right.
I remember they went out to the Hamptons and did some kind of remote piece out there, on Fox, and they used this, and it was it's broadcast quality.
Yeah.
A lot better than those old video phones.
that,
remember the video phones when they were during the Gulf War?
That microphone's going to do a lot. It's going to do a lot. All right, we're running out of time, Jeff. Any advice for me for getting some real good Facce time tomorrow night as the camera pan? Remember last year the camera, they have those boom cams.
I think wearing Donald Trump mask or screaming and yelling always works well. As much as you can. Taking Jeff Zucker hostage might be something as well. You can know all those things.
He probably won't want to sit next to me.
Actually, quite frankly, with Donald, I've always found sit next to the most attractive blondes and
that's my wife. I'll be doing that. I'm
usually that works
the
pretty
most
well.
attractive blonde in the audience tomorrow night.
Trump's publicist is dying over here right now.
I'm guessing it's going to be Zucker and Mark Hoffman, NBC and CNBC, and then I'm thinking Tina Fey, Fallon, Kramer.
Oh, I know Kramer's coming because he sent me an email. I'm sure Maria's coming and a bunch of others are showing up.
When you invite me to one of these things, I'll invite you to White House Correspondence. That's the deal.
We got a deal.
I never get invited. He never invites me anywhere.
It's a tough ticket. It's a tough ticket right now.
Jeff, let me just make sure I pronounce it properly. Hazlett. Did I say Hazlitt?
Hazlitt's fine. Hazlitt. Well, I'm good. Just make sure you get Kodak right.
And we have you CMO of Kodak and co-stars this Sunday, the live Celebrity Apprentice. I got to sit in that
3 hours. I'm telling you, it goes like crazy.
By the way, you guys, last year I snuck some vodka. I had a little thing in my thing.
I thought you were going to say a catheter.
No, you didn't.
I brought a vodka in. I absolutely did. I absolutely did. Sorry, NBC.
Yeah.
Jeff Kodak, thanks a lot. Dani Babb, hold up your books, please. Dr. Dani Babb, she's got
three books. I'll hold them both up. I'll help you. That's product placement right there.
Internet business.
Dr. Dani Babb, real estate guru and small business expert. John Rutledge, Dr. John Rutledge, good friend, also basically one of the smarter guys you'll ever see on this channel or any channel,
and an excellent
also
book,
good friend.
highly recommend it. Lessons from a Road Warrior.
Lessons from a Road Warrior. You're a road warrior?
15 million air miles.
15 what?
That's a lot.
Air miles.
Unfortunately.
It's not a road.
Right.
It's hardly a road.
I know.
Ellen Ratner, bureau chief. Look. My wife, again. Honey, 4 o'clock. Ellen Ratner, bureau chief. And also Talkers Magazine.
Talkers Magazine, we're the ones that do the new media seminar. We bring talk show hosts and new media people like this in one place. The host, the producers, Hannity is our MC this year.
Oh, wow.
So it's a big deal. And Strategy Room, maybe we'll even try and do it live or something.
We should do something. We'll do something with that as well. All right,
Well,
you guys,
Straka's
3:58.
coming,
Leventhal on deck, right?
Mother's Day special.
Mother's Day special.
Jill.
Jill Zarin, there you go.
Yeah, right over there.
Where's Jill?
She's right behind us.
Hi, Jill. How are you, Jill? All right, that's it. We got to go.